Hello everybody, it's your boy Muse, and today we're going to talk about the Genshin characters that I regret pulling for. We're going to try and mainly stick to 5 stars. If there's any 4 stars in here, they're more like honorable mentions. Now, Genshin will have more regrets than any of my other gacha games because Genshin is the game I actually wailed on, and when I tell you I wailed hard, it's crazy. Or at least I wailed hard for my kind of budget, you know? So, and this game was the game that taught me, you know what? I could just play Battle Pass and be just fine with other games, okay? I don't have to go as hard. I don't need to top off. It's really unnecessary because I felt so spoiled playing Genshin. But that's a video for another day. Let's go ahead and go through this. 3, 2, 1, go. We're gonna start with Child, and when I tell you, I should have never pulled this man. Alright, the only reason I pulled this dude is because Child was the first banner I decided to pull on way back in the past, and I lost my 50-50 to Diluc, and I've hated Diluc ever since. That's why by the way, he's C6. That's why I just burned my account. Burn my account, dog. Diluc would stalk me my entire Genshin career. Every time I lost a 50-50, it was to this man. How come it was never to Jean? Oh, I've got 3 copies of Jean. I've got maybe 1 Chi-Chi. What? Maybe 2. But why? Why couldn't I get those 2? Instead, Diluc, and I believe my Kaching is 1 off from being C6'd. I'm so annoyed. But, you know what? Throw Kaching up there too. Just burn my account, okay? But when Child came back for the first time, I thought, okay, this is my chance. And I'm gonna win the 50-50. Let me go ahead and pull Child. I pulled Child, played with him for like 3 days. I didn't like his style. Trash. Never touched him again. In fact, I think he's on my account and he's at like level 70 or in between 60 to 70. Biggest waste of pulls, especially since I most likely threw money at it. Alright, so what do we have here? No regrets. Zhongli was the first unit I threw money at because I was a big, like, back when my friends introduced me to what a gacha game is, it was Fire Emblem Heroes, and I never understood why they used money on that. But then when Genshin came out, I was like, oh, cool. I won't use money until Zhongli drops. And that's what happened. As soon as Zhongli dropped, I'm throwing money at it. Dengon Yu came a couple months after, threw money at it. That's what started my whaling career. But I have no regrets when it comes to Zhongli. I even got Staff of Homa. And this man is basically the captain of my account. He's the Archon of my account. So no regrets here. Oh, Arlecchino. I have no regrets with Arlecchino. In fact, I used to run physical Zhongli, but as soon as I got Arlecchino, I was like, you know what, Zhongli? It's about that time that I actually use your real build. When I tell you, I built Zhongli several times throughout my Genshin career. Several different sets. But I decided, okay, let's just build HP Zhongli, and then he can team up with Arlecchino, and that's the end of my career, alright? Let's see, who else we got here? Albedo, no regrets. And you know the funny thing? It was during his, I believe, 2nd or 3rd rerun. But I think it was his 2nd, right? Probably 3rd. It was probably his 3rd. I don't think Albedo got that many reruns. So his 2nd rerun, right? I told my friends I'm throwing in $300 so then I can pull a C2 Albedo in one go, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, no! You're not gonna. Don't do that. That's so irresponsible. Don't do it." I didn't even have to throw the whole 300 in, right? I threw in 200. I got Albedo back to back to back. They were watching the stream. It was hilarious. They were like, "Hell no! How did this guy get 3 Albedos back to back?" And I was like, "Listen." You have to tell Hoyo what you want, and they'll give it to you. So no regrets there. Actually, let's put him in slight regrets. Actually, no, because of Navia, no regrets. It was only slightly regretful because before Navia, fine, slight regret. But because before Navia dropped, I played him for a couple months, but he didn't really have a team. I played him in like an electrocution team, so I put him together with Raiden Shogun and another water user, just so then his little twinkle twinkles can go with the electricity, and bam, you're just doing a bunch of scatter damage. But then he became jobless for a while. But then Navia came out and he got a job for a good minute. But then Zelonin took his job again. So I'm gonna put him in slight regret, because going for 3 at once, all just so he could get benched twice? That's crazy. Alright, let's see, who else? Yoimiya. I'm only putting Yoimiya in slight regret because when I tell you, I was just looking for a fire DPS. You were looking for a fire DPS even though you had C6? Diluc? Fuck that man. Anyways. So, I had Yoimiya and I was riding the copium for so long, trying to make sure that my Yoimiya was the strongest fire DPS I ever had. Then I finally got saved by Arlecchino, so yeah. I only have Raiden Shogun in slight regret because, okay, people, when I wail, I have a budget, okay? 200 in a single month, okay? I am not allowed to drop 200 in a single month unless, like in Ganyu's case, which is a no regret right here. Love you, Zhongli, but I love her more. In Ganyu's case, it was my birthday. I got money from the government. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna toss 300 in to get C2 Ganyu. Didn't even need the whole 200. I was getting lucky that month. It was my birthday month. It was cool. So yeah. I had a budget, and that budget is 200 in a single month, unless I didn't spend last month, which is why you have cases like Ganyu, Staff of Homa for Zhongli, because I think for Zhongli I only really dropped 100, and then you have cases like Albedo, because like that was back during COVID. COVID was dropping free money on us. I wasn't doing nothing with that money. I already paid off my student loans and everything with that money. So I was like, you know what? At Celebration, let's go ahead. Bam, bam, bam. I'm spending. Now, I regret Raiden Shogun a little bit. I don't regret pulling her, but what I regret doing with Raiden Shogun is everyone was talking about how C2 is exactly what you need for Raiden Shogun. Now, this was back in the past when I was like, you don't really need C's, okay? I got a C for Ganyu because it was my birthday month and I love Ganyu, and I wasn't really spending that much back then. The first person I spent on was Zhongli. I went after C's with Albedo because government giving us money, man, let me blow. But when it came to everybody else, it was like one character, that's it. Not even a weapon. One character, that's it. Make the best out of it. Now, Raiden Shogun was the first time I felt for the okie doke. I needed that E2. When I tell you I threw 450 in 1 month, and I had a girlfriend at the time, I did not have money to play with like that, except my bills are always paid, so it don't matter. I have backups for my backups, but I just don't like going over budget, okay? So, yeah, 450 in 1 month for Raiden Shogun. That's the slight regret. Her performance, no regrets there. Alright, next we have Eula. I have no regrets there. I love my Eula. I don't care that she fell off. No regrets on Kazuha. No regrets on Kokomi. Let me put these in order of how much I regret them. Kazuya was amazing. Kokomi is just a healer. She can just stay in the back here. Because there was other healers. They could do what Kokomi does, but this... Actually, no. She was strong in my account. I'm sorry, Eula. As much as I love you, and listen, I love my Eula. I built her like 3 times. Compared to everybody else, she is back here. Alright, so I regret Zhao. Should have never pulled. Now, here's the funny thing, right? It's not that I even wanted Zhao. I just wanted more copies of Beidou, and then I got a Zhao. And he just sat on my account, never being used. The funny thing is, I would build him with leftover pieces that I got from other sets, but still. I don't regret Shenhe, even though she's not as useful as Kokomi though, so I have to put her back here, but I don't regret my Shenhe. I love my Shenhe. Let's see here. Oh, I absolutely regret this man. Oh my gosh, that was the big... At least this guy has a fun playstyle, and this one, I was just trying to get a Beidou. But this man, I thought I was finna have some fun with Wanderer. He was a wind element. That's one of my favorite fantasy elements. Trash. Terrible. Should have just stuck with Kazuha and called it a day. I whipped him out, got him built, tried to use him. Trash. He just sat on my account, barely being used, and he's at a high level. I hate having characters that I don't use at a level amongst everybody else, right? Because you could see, I like a clear separation between the people I don't use and the people I do use. So I usually keep them at like level 60, 70 or something like that, right? Even my Diluc is like 80 instead of up in the 90s like everybody else. But no, this man is up there. I believe he's either 80 or 90, but I know he was up there. Let's see, who else is out here? I do not regret Xylonin. She was a great pull. As much as I don't care for the Natlin characters, because I hate their whole 2-second skills that help you maneuver, she was an amazing pull. I actually liked walking around with her, and I mean, don't get me wrong, she took Albedo's job, which was completely unnecessary, but great pull. I only have a slight regret. No, he fell off. He was supposed to be Ganyu's slave. That's the only reason I pulled him. And then as soon as Farina dropped, which Farina is an absolute non-regret, like to the point that I have to put her ahead of Ganyu because she revived Ganyu's career. Farina is the greatest unit they ever made in Genshin. Alright? So yeah, he used to be Ganyu's slave, and trash. As soon as Farina came out, bye. Alright, who else here? Oh, Navia is an absolute not regret. I hate putting Navia in front of Ganyu because I loved Ganyu first, but Navia keeps taking Ganyu and Zhongli's place as the favorite of my account. Like, I don't want to admit that Navia is the favorite of my account. In fact, my favorite gacha character ever. In fact, Hoyo put Navia in everything. Put Navia in Star Rail. Put Navia in Zenless Zone Zero, even though she doesn't match it. Put her in. Now. Like, I do not regret Navia at all. In fact, the only reason she's not in front of Farina is because Farina literally saved my account and literally saved one of my favorite people. Which you would say the same thing about her, but no, all she did was make me change Zhongli from physical to what he's supposed to do. Alright, so, is there anyone else that I actually wished for? With all the whaling I did, you would think I'd have more 5 stars, you know? I mean, of course there are all the standards, but who cares about them? No, I would have never pulled for her. I did skip a lot of Sumeru. Mind you, I do have slight regret over here. I put money on her, okay? And I love her because she's melanated and she's pretty and I wanted to use her, but they did not put respect on my girl here. She was fun. She was fun copium for a while, but actually gotta put her up here because I put money on a 4-star. Yeah, yeah, that's some slight regret. And now she's just benched. Money on a 4-star and I just benched her. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have anyone else. That's crazy. I think most of the money I used when it came to Genshin. I mean, don't get me wrong. I also have regrets on Mona, because once again, is a character I put money on. I literally put money on her just to pull on the standard banner. I was like, I'm gonna keep going till I get Mona, or until I use $200. I didn't get Mona. I got her when I lost the 50-50 to Kokomi. That was absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was greedy and stupid. Alright, that was greedy and stupid. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm so surprised. Like, with the amount of money I put into Genshin, these are the 5 stars I got. That's it? This is it? I mean, don't get me wrong. My Zhongli is like S4. No, C4. C4. He's C1? I think he's C1. 0, 0, 0. She's C1 right now. C0, C2, C2, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 6. 6 and either 4 or 5. And I think she's 0, if not 1. But I think she never got reran, so I think she's still at 0. Yeah. Huh, weird. Weird. The amount of cash I threw in, I could have sworn I'd done more. And this is kind of why I don't wail as hard, but that's a video for another day. If there's any character I regret not pulling for, it's Orihime. I would have loved to have Orihime, because she helps Cryo, and I was a big Cryo fan. I like to thank Genshin for getting me out of the spending phase. Now I actually play gachas, and I'm just over here doing battle pass if I really need like a light cone or something. But if not, then all I do is like the supply pass, the monthly. All I do is the monthly. It's been more fun that way because you actually have to build your account. And I noticed that playing Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone and Weathering Waves, I'm actually grinding for my pulls, and it's more fun instead of just being like, oh, well, if I don't have the pulls, then I got money. That was my favorite thing to say back then. But these days, it's like, no, I'd rather grind for my pulls. And it's half the reason I do challenge accounts now, because now I'm not over here worried about, oh, who do I want? I just pull for who I'm supposed to pull for. Because Genshin was the game where it's like, okay, I got everybody I wanted, and now I want to quit the game because I got everybody I wanted and barely anyone else I care about. I don't care about most of these people. I mean, these two are the only two characters I would have liked to have. I mean, I'll let Chlorianne have her glory. She looked like she had a fun playstyle. So yeah, these three people were the only 3 people that I didn't manage to get out of all these other 5 stars. I mean, yeah, she's hot, but I don't care. No. But yeah, other than that, I got everyone I wanted, and then she's the only one that feels like she would have went on a team like Ganyu's that I already have. The other 2 here would have been people I needed to build a team for, and I refused. So yeah, I no longer wail anymore because it makes the game end sooner for me. That's the only reason I'm going to be deleting Genshin as soon as Arknight drops, because I'm done. The game is over for me. I'll keep watching YouTube videos for the lore and to finally see Varka and other story elements, but other than that, I don't care. And Zenless kind of killed how I play this game. I can't play this game anymore. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to play. The characters move so slow. It just feels off, and I can't relearn it anymore. So yeah, Genshin was great while it lasted. But yeah, these are my regrets for my Genshin account. Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't get too many visitors, so I appreciate the people who show up. Good night.
See you later, too.